Luxury is all about your lifestyle, it's all about the location, and it's definitely all about proper interior design for your comfort, no matter where you design. When you're designing homes within these parameters, such as oceanfront condominiums, such as homes that are designed for the high-end clientele, you gotta think of every single detail, because it is in the details that people are living within. Spaces in condominiums are usually limited to space, so there's always got to be a way to create depth. And when I'm talking about depth, it's going to be visual depth. There's so many different things you can do when it comes to unique touches. The apartments are usually top notch when it comes to finishes and styling, and that's the key. You gotta continue the total style within its core. Feature walls are the main attraction. I'm not talking about just panel walls. I'm talking about unique, enhanced walls that are all gonna be different, and also is going to hug you when you're standing in that room. The ceilings also play a very important part within the space, because the ceilings will crown you. Feature walls with lighting, shelving, custom bars, and all of those amenities are only going to bring that home to the next level. It's all about comfort, it's all about plushness, but it's also all about styling. Everything in the apartment that the luxury clientele is going to request has to reflect not just the client's personality, but it also has to bring in all the amenities that you are purchasing in these luxury condominiums. Spa bathrooms, beautifully ornamented walls that are brought in with magnificent stone woodwork, and LED lighting is only going to bring it up to the next level. Glass is always important to bring in when it comes to accents. Example, here you have a mirror, but yet it's not a mirror, it's an extension of the view. Plushness, accents, and make it your life, make it your lifestyle, because at the end of the day, that's what luxury is. It's a lifestyle. The minute you walk into any home, whether it's large or small, you have to set the tone. You have to set the personality from the beginning till the end. Features that carry accent colors that are integrated within the exterior are always going to make that apartment elevated. It doesn't matter if it's a small space. You can make it feel larger with the finishes and textures that you are using. Ceilings, I keep saying, are the icing on the cake. In this case, in this apartment, we duplicated rippled water. The rippled water that you would see when you throw a stone in the water, because this is a waterfront unit. Also, the stone, the marble, the bar, we're tying in the Tiffany blue throughout as accent, because the color of water changes every time. You can have it aqua, you can have it turquoise, and you can also have Tiffany blue. So these are incorporated within the accents, incorporated within the architectural features. They're definitely incorporated within the ceiling up to the last pillow. Art is important also. You got to tie in your personal artwork, but at the same time it has to flow. It has to tie in to the elements of the exterior, the elements of the outdoor, the architectural details that tie in the inside and the outside. But at the end of the day, it's all about giving it your own essence, your own personality. Bring in the outdoors inside, but do it with a twist. Make it unique. Every little touch, every accent, every pillow, every throw is going to make it feel like it's yours. It's always bringing in your touches, your personality that creates this one-of-a-kind, unique, luxury style apartment no matter where it's located, Florida, California. If you had to choose, where do you think this apartment is? Well, I believe it's obvious, because we are bringing the outdoor elements inside, and we're creating these unique designs that become part of the horizon of the planet. As we continue in our luxury living, you gotta remember that it's all about location, location, location. So every location is going to have its own essence. Example here, this is a modern apartment that's very open, but yet again, we wanted to make it feel like a vacation resort. The vacation resort is simply achieved by using the proper finishes, by bringing in touches of natural and organic elements. The mirrors will always reflect the right thing. In this case, you gotta reflect that magnificent ocean view. At the end of the day, you want to live in the ocean. You want to see the ocean wherever you can. So when designing luxury apartments on the ocean, the number one trick is to always bring in that water view wherever possible. Balance it with earthy elements and always leave some space open, because when you're doing resale design, you also have to think a little bit different. This apartment was designed universally. In other words, when someone walks in, they're going to see this apartment and they're going to imagine themselves living in it, because it's not particularly designed for one particular taste. It is what I call universal style design. It's selling the location, it's selling the lifestyle, but it's also selling touches of rich and modern design, which is what's trending right now. Every amenity counts, every detail counts, and always remember, make the space feel where it's belonging. We've moved on to another location that's also on the ocean, but this time you can see the difference, because this was designed for someone who already knows what they like. This is not a resale apartment, this is a private home. Obviously they had a collection of Peter Maxes, so we have to incorporate the people's art within the space. Again, tying in those colors with accessories so they don't look like they don't belong. You can make any art belong anywhere when properly connected with the proper color schemes, as well as take the personality piece that belong to the people and incorporating them within the space with proper space planning. Luxury is all about finishes. Luxury is all about styling. Luxury is all about bringing your own touches and elevating it with each unique piece that belongs to you, no matter where you're going to decide to move to. But luxury apartments on the ocean always bring in the earth tones with the water views that it has. Coastal, yes, when you are on the coast of Florida, obviously you also want to bring in some of that coastal influence. But when I'm talking about coastal, I'm talking about chic coastal. Just because you're doing coastal doesn't mean you gotta do a bunch of seashells and seahorses on the beach. No, you bring in that glamorous texture throughout and then enhance upon with modern, rich elements such as unique ceilings, rich cashmeres, rich chenilles. Incorporate touches of color and coastal with a small little accent. But it's all about space planning, because in apartments you're limited space, right? So the space has to be enlarged visually. You do that with unique feature walls. You do that with light and airy furniture. You do that with texturized ceilings and LED lighting that's going to enhance upon architecture as well as your rich finishes that make it inviting. This is the type of home you feel like you're always on a vacation, no matter what day of the week is. Bringing in those elements from the outdoor into the indoor is only expanding your real estate from the outside inside and inside to outside. Every little corner matters, every little touch matters. The lighting is important because it's light and airy, yet it lights up the area just where you want to. But when it comes to coastal style, it's always going to be very simple, but yet you bring and you pop the personality with your artwork. Seating a lot of people was essential in this unique apartment. Therefore, a large dining room table was placed, and we emphasized the length of the table with the proper accessories. In addition, don't forget, you always need a buffet, which really becomes an extension of that kitchen, because the kitchen island, the master bedroom, the guest bedroom, and all of the elements that are used in a coastal place is only going to give you that feeling of, I want to go on vacation. I want to feel the vibes of the ocean. And it's done very simply with touches here and there. Coastal design is simple, yet it has to be reminded that it has to be texturized wherever possible, lit wherever possible, and emphasized with proper, comfortable furniture, because after all, coastal makes you want to feel like you're on the coast and just be relaxing every day and only feel the vibes. When we talk about true luxury living on the Marina, we're not talking about excess for the sake of excess. We're talking about a lifestyle that feels effortless, sophisticated, and connected to the water. The luxury elite of today still expect the finest finishes, craftsmanship, and locations, but they also want comfort. They want a home that feels welcoming, relaxed, and easy to live in. The moment they walk through the door, they want to feel at peace. In a premier 3-bedroom marina residence, location is everything. The yachts, the shimmering water, the breathtaking sunsets become part of the design itself. Expansive glass walls, open floor plans, and seamless indoor-outdoor living allow the views to take center stage. The design should be organic, timeless and elegant. Natural stone and warm woods, sophisticated neutral tones, and layered lighting create an atmosphere that feels luxurious. The kitchen always becomes a showpiece with professional-grade appliances and custom cabinetry with exquisite stone. The ceilings become the jewelry of the home, featuring architectural details and subtle lighting that adds depth and sophistication. Most importantly, every detail reflects quality in the materials and everywhere else, because true luxury is unsurpassed when it comes to interior design, no matter what room it is. So when extraordinary design meets an unmatched marina, locations surrounded by magnificent yachts, the water view fronts create a residence that feels top. Yes, world class, and it's the luxury marina living makes you feel like you are just on top of the world. This apartment is luxury at its finest. Perched high above the world, this extraordinary penthouse is surrounded by breathtaking panoramic views in every direction. From sunrise to sunset, the scenery becomes a living masterpiece, creating a sense of freedom, beauty, and escape that few residences can offer. But the true luxury today is not about being formal and untouchable. It's about comfort. It's about walking through the door and immediately feeling at home. This apartment was designed for living, entertaining, relaxing, and enjoying life's most precious moments. The interiors embrace a sophisticated organic elegance, blending luxurious materials, natural textures, exquisite furnitures, and exceptional craftsmanship. Every detail has been carefully considered, yet nothing feels forced. The atmosphere is refined, warm, and effortlessly inviting. This is the kind of home where luxury doesn't shout, it whispers. It surrounds you with beauty, comfort, and quality at every turn. It reflects the personality of those who live here, creating a space that feels authentic, timeless, and deeply personal. Because the finest homes are not measured by the price tag, they are measured by how they make you feel. And this penthouse delivers something truly rare, a lifestyle elevated above it all.